Hello guys, I'm Başak Erdoğan. I'm gonna talk about the Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. Quickly, I'm gonna summarize the poem, which includes 5 parts. First part is the burial of the dead. It's not the cheeriest of starts, and it gets even rarer from there. The poem's speaker talks about how spring is an awful time of year, stirring up memories of bygone days and unfulfilled desires. Then the poem shifts into specific childhood memories of a woman named Mary. This is followed by a description of Tangle, that trees and land that isn't great for growing stuff. Suddenly you are in a room with a clairvoyant or spiritual medium named Madame Sososters, who reads you your fortune. And if that weren't enough, you then watch a crowd of people following over on the bridge, like zombies. Second part is a game of chess. You are transported to a glittery room of a lavish woman, and you notice that hanging from the wall is an image of the change of Flamel, a woman from Greek myth who was raped by King Turius, and then changed into a nightingale. Some anxious person says that their nerves are bad and asks you to say the night. This is followed by a couple of fragments vaguely asking you what to know and remember. The section finishes with a scene of two women chatting and trying to sneak in a few more drinks before closing time at the bar. Third section is the fire sermon. Section 3 opens with a speaker who's hanging out beside London's River Thames and feeling bad about the fact that there is no magic left in the world. The focus swoops back to the story of Philomel for a second. Then another speaker talks about how he might have been asked for a weekend of sex by a Smyrna merchant. Next, you're hearing from Tiresias, a blind prophet from myth who was turned into a woman for 7 years by the goddess Hera. You hear about the scene where a modern young man and woman, both not much to look at, are having this really awful loveless sex. Finally, you overhear someone singing a popular song, which in the context of this poem just sounds depressing. And fourth part is Death by Water. In a brief scene, you watch as a dead sailor named Philbas decays at the bottom of the ocean, and the poem tells you to think of this young man whenever you start feeling too proud. And fifth part is What the Thunder Said. Section 5 takes you to a stony landscape with no water. There are two people walking, and one notices in his peripheral vision that a third person is with them. When he looks over, though, this other person disappears. It's like one of those squiggly lines that dance in the corner of your eye. In a dramatic moment, thunder cracks over the scene, and its noise seems to say 3 words in Sanskrit, Tata, Dayatvam, and Damyata, which command you to give, sympathize, and control. This is followed by a repetition of the word Shanti, which means the peace pass, uh, that pass all understanding. After all that slogging, T.S. maybe give us a little hope with this final word, then again maybe not. And one way to approach the wasteland through feminist literary criticism is to examine the ways in which the poem portrays and critiques patriarchal power structures. Throughout the work, Eliot presents a number of female figures who are trapped or oppressed by the men around them. For example, in the section A Game of Chess, the narrator describes a scene in which a woman named Lil is waiting for a man who never shows up. She is described as being fixed in her position, unable to leave or change her circumstances. This can be seen as a commentary on how women were often expected to be passive and submissive in relationships, waiting for men to make decisions and take action. Likewise, in the final section of the poem, What the Thunder said, the narrator describes a group of women gathering around a tree, chanting and singing. However, the women are ultimately powerless to effect any real change in the world, as they trapped in a cycle of death and rebirth. Overall, the wasteland can be read as a critique of how patriarchal power structures have led to a sense of disillusionment, alienation, and despair in modern society. By highlighting the struggles of women who are trapped within these power dynamics, the poem encourages readers to question and resist systems of oppression in their own hands. And this was all. Thank you for listening.